It's Nolan. I'm some more label, brought it straight from the dirt. Double my grind, just a triple more work. Rockin' the same clothes from the first to the third. Say what you want. Motivated by grace, but I don't like them. It's for the industry and all them haters that comprise it. I own my image and likeness. I'm fighting like Leonidas. To be righteous is key. I had to make my circle tighter, cause they life is the street. I'm from the jungle where you kill what you eat. I love the feast. Taught myself how to cook, it was Franks and butter beans. Hot summers, no trees. Niggas born with no retreat. If they gotta get you, they willing to shoot you right through the priest. That's where I'm raised at. Took day back. Y'all niggas listening to slave rap. Just got my chain back, crafted by Arabs. Wait, I got a blade strapped under the wave cap. My city full of niggas bleeding like a fucking ASAS. So when I say I overcame the odds, I don't pray to God. Watch niggas that was shaving hard, had to take a charge till I came to change the cards. Hey, I ain't got no words for y'all. I don't do the rap beats. I'm trying to get my girl to drop.
But I know it's gonna get better than this, for sure. I don't have everything that I want, but if there's one thing that I know, it's gonna get better than this, for sure.
Hey, I pray for better days. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. If you enjoy what you just heard, that song is called Beautiful Struggle. It's from my Southside Nolan album. All the music that I've been playing for y'all on these intros for the last week or so are all from the Southside Nolan album. Again, I always tell y'all, you could get it on any streaming platform that you choose. You could get it from iTunes if you want to purchase it, or if you want to purchase it and make sure that all the proceeds go directly to me and my fam, then you could go to realjnolan.com. The link is down below in the description for you to get the album directly from me, which means nobody else is going to get no cut of it. It's up to you. And if you just want to stream it, that's also up to you. I put no pressure on y'all for that. All right. Today we're going to be talking about quite a few things. As y'all can see in the thumbnail, we've got Eminem, we've got Rihanna, we've got Schoolboy Q, and Chris Brown. Now, for anyone out there that may feel, like, dang, why you got Rihanna and Chris Brown in the same thumbnail? I literally made sure I put Schoolboy Q in between them to make sure that they weren't together, because we're going to be talking about them regardless in the show. So they had to be on there somehow. But I did want to make sure that they were separated just for presentation purposes, all right? Because I didn't want them to be right next to each other. Anyway, the first thing we are going to get into is I want to give a shout out, actually, because I don't think I sent this shout out to the right person the other day for a Cash App that was sent. Again, I try to make sure I give everybody their shout outs for their Cash App contributions. So let me go ahead and pull this up, and then we're going to get into Rihanna talking about her new album. Okay, give me just a moment. So big shout out to Kay. We greatly appreciate the Cash App that you sent through, and she sent it through on behalf of let me see here, for insider support. We greatly appreciate you. All right, much love and respect. Being that we just played music, I don't want to play Lotto right now, but we greatly appreciate you. Now, let's get into Rihanna, because this is interesting to me. A lot of people have been trying to see what's going to happen with her next album, if she's ever going to drop her next album. She was supposed to drop it last year after the Super Bowl thing. She was supposed to do a lot of stuff last year after the Super Bowl thing, but y'all know her and A$AP Rocky, they can't seem to get out that motherfucking potato sack, man. They've been out here putting more buns in the oven than goddamn Auntie Lori. You know what I mean? I know everybody don't got an Auntie Lori in their city, but the soul food spot, y'all, you know what I mean? They got more goddamn buns in the oven in the soul food spot. For sure, for sure. You know what I mean? So apparently she's coming out giving a little bit of information about what's to come. So in this article here with LUS, they state Rihanna's last album was 2016's Anti, and fans have been waiting impatiently for the next release as the star has gone on to cultivate other businesses and start her own family. Now, in a new interview with Extra TV, the singer has given some more hints about what her next album might sound like and the inspiration behind it. She says it's going to be amazing. It has to be. That is the only reason it's not out yet. If I'm not feeling it and I'm not feeling like it represents the evolution, the time I spent away, there should be a show of growth, right? I want to play, and I feel like music is a playground, and I want to have fun with it and show truly where I'm at. When asked about who else might appear on the album, she says, I'm not a big collaborator. It has to be very intentional, so I'll know when I have the record. So as of right now, she's not giving any details on who else might be appearing on there, any features, any producers, no names, right? So she also talked about what she had in store for the Met Gala, but I don't really be talking about stuff like that. I don't really get into what motherfuckers be wearing all that much, or how people look. I try to stay away from stuff like that because it don't take a lot for you to go over the edge when you speak about people's appearance. What was a compliment no longer is, and what wasn't a compliment now turns into a fucking hate train. So I try to stay away from talking about people looks because I feel like we are beautiful in God's eyes any goddamn way. So fuck it. Everybody has their personal preference. Everybody has their personal opinions on those things. We stick to the music and the entertainment over here. All right. So if you went to the Met Gala and all that shit, there's plenty of other fashion motherfuckers that to talk about that. So we do see that Rihanna is still talking about the forthcoming album. We don't know when it will drop. We don't know who's going to be on it, who's going to partake on that journey with her. But the talk is still there. She has not said, I will not drop. She has not announced any type of retirement. So for all the Riri fans out there, I guess y'all can hold out a little bit longer and see what she's got in store coming forward. All right. From there, we want to get into Mr. Eminem. Now, I know over here, the insiders, I know y'all not the biggest Eminem fans in the world. I grew up as a big Eminem fan, I must admit, especially when I was young, elementary, middle school, high school, fan of lyricism, fan of the outlandish rhymes that he was doing, all that crazy shit. I was into all that. Over the years, I've kind of grown out of those phases, but I still have to acknowledge Eminem as a dope rapper, dope lyricist. And when it comes to that fast rapping shit, he definitely is the dude. You know what I mean? But apparently he's got a new album that's coming out called The Death of Slim Shady. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because it looks like somebody may have shared this concept of his album on Twitter a couple years ago. A young lady named Dee, who I see quite frequently on my timeline on Twitter. If you partake in music conversations, her name's going to come up at some point. And she kind of outlined the entire Death of Slim Shady concept a couple years back. So it's odd or interesting at the bare minimum as to how all of a sudden this is his new project. I'm not alleging that he stole the idea from her, because that would be nasty work, you know what I'm saying? Especially because Dee is a black girl. To think that he's out here stealing album concepts from black women, that would be, I don't know. But let's just go off of what she said. This tweet came out October 8th, 2021. She says, I came up with an idea that I think will be great for Eminem's next project. What do you guys think? Furthermore, it says Eminem album concept idea. The album will be titled The Death of Slim Shady. It will be a farewell to a legendary persona. It won't be a retirement project. Instead, it will shock fans by introducing a more laid-back lyricist that's more focused on what he says instead of how he's saying it. It's not a bad suggestion. It will pay homage to iconic moments in M's career, with M writing a letter to Slim as a way of sharing how that persona impacted his life, both negatively and positively. It will reflect on M's controversies and how he feels about them now that he's much older. The album will even be different from other projects production-wise because it won't have Dr. Dre's input. Instead, it will have production from The Alchemist, Ninth Wonder, Madlib, Derringer, DJ Premier, and Q-Tip. So she's vying for him to go to a more underground, traditional hip-hop, boom-bap type sound rather than going for other stuff that he's been going for. For the past 10 years, I've definitely been saying I think Eminem needs new producers. The soundtrack to the Eminem saga has definitely gone downhill. I know I don't really want to hear him produce, don't really want to hear him on Dre beats, but I felt like the people that could do his sound the best have not been involved. And she kind of outlined people who M fans would love to see. Y'all may not know who all these people are, but if you're into hip hop like that, you will know, right? Now, mind you, this is 2.5 years ago she put this up, and just a couple days ago, Eminem announced his new album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Gras, releasing this summer. Didi comes out and put out a litany of question marks like, holy shit, did I not come out and say this? So that's going to be very interesting to see how this project pans out, what he ends up doing on it. And hopefully, if Eminem or anyone on his team did happen to see this, I'm hoping in the liner notes of the album or something, she gets some sort of credit, gets some sort of love. You know what I'm saying? Her tweet now has 2.8 million views on it, detailing that she put this out years ago. We would love to see some restitution or credit or love given from Team Shady. That's all I'm going to say about that. Furthermore, we've got Schoolboy Q coming out. He's talking about why Kendrick Lamar doesn't seem to drop albums very frequently. He says, do not blame Top Dog or TDE for the reason as to why Kendrick does not drop. He's got a conversation between himself, this is Schoolboy Q, by the way, and YG, where they talk a little bit about this. All right, so I'm going to pull this up. I'm trying to make sure it's not too loud because I know when I heard it, it was hella loud. So YG got a podcast called 400. I never knew that. Interesting. Everybody got a podcast now, goddamn. Anyway, let's hear what they had to say.
In order to put out like a record, like some party shit, and it worked during COVID, like you had to be on TikTok type shit. And I'm like, I wasn't doing that. So
yeah, that's out.
Yeah, so nigga was just like, yeah, I gotta wait for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I gotta wait till this shit get back right.
I thought it was like, I was like 2020. I'm like, okay, we getting Schoolboy. I thought it was like how TDE roll a music out. I'm like, maybe it got stopped because of how TDE roll a music out.
Nah, look, that's a thing too. Motherfuckers gotta stop that. Bruh, they be giving Top and them hell. I'm gonna be honest, that's us. It's not, it's a, bruh, you think Top is telling Kendrick and SZA to fuck me? Kendrick and SZA, you think he's gonna tell them you only can drop one album in 5 years? The two of the biggest artists, you ain't gonna get no chicken if you don't.
Yeah.
They don't, you know what I'm saying? Hold the two best back.
And you know what I mean? I think we just like cool in the head, bro. And I think we all got similarities in the shows. Zay didn't drop in 5 years. I didn't drop in 5 years. SZA didn't drop in 5 years. Dot didn't drop in 5 years. It done hit 5 for Rock. You get what I'm saying? I think we have something in common, and it's not Top. I don't see how he gains anything from doing that. And me being at 37, I'm gonna be honest with you, Top. I wouldn't allow you to fucking like. I love you, dog.
I love you.
You my pops. He like my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm for death. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Top is like my pops I never had. So like I'm going nowhere, but we gonna be arguing like a motherfucker if you making me wait 5 years between albums, and it's not by my choice. I'm 37 with kids and shit. Like, I gotta go home and gotta be told like what to do and shit. Hell no. Like, that ain't going down like that at this point in my career. But you know, he doesn't gain nothing for that. We have a fucking mental illness. Everybody on that label.
I think quality,
just be wanting
quality.
Like,
quality
yeah, put out
quality.
like the perfect
Quality,
project.
yeah. Quality, man.
I think we got caught up in trying to perfect shit a little bit and probably took a little too long. I think we did a little too long. I'll be honest. We took a little too long.
Yeah, but like I told you off camera, I'm okay as a fan of the music waiting if you're gonna do what you just did.
Yeah.
Don't make me wait and then I'll be on the album. I'm skipping through the album and I'm like, what the fuck I wait for? But what you did,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like y'all should set the bar high at TDE for like albums, cause you feel me, y'all known for putting together like, you know what I'm saying, great bodies of work and like real albums and shit. So you feel me, the bar was set high by y'all niggas though, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you feel me?
But
From the start.
I ain't gonna lie, but
start.
at the beginning, Top did push us hard. Like, nah, we need hits. We need woo wops. We need bop bops. You know, at the beginning, he was all on us like, nah, you know. But he wasn't saying push the album back. I mean, well, kinda, but like, man,
Make it right.
make it right for. And look, there's no difference from July to October. It's the same year. Try to give me a hit from July through October. You get what I'm saying? It's a business, and we trying to get our shit jerking. We got to get something generated before we start trying to act like we just, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can do your artsy album, but you got to give me like 2 at least. That's, you know, that was his motto, and it was like, it worked out for us.
That's the right motto though.
You know what I'm saying?
I like hearing this, as a matter of fact. Now, as far as YG's presence on the mic as a podcaster, YG, it's gonna be about time. Go home, look yourself in the mirror, give yourself a pep talk or something, man. There's no reason why you as a podcaster can't speak it to the mic. You know what I mean? I fuck with My Crazy Life. I fucked with Still Crazy. I fucked with that record you had with J. Cole and shit. Scared Money, you know what I mean? No money. So I ain't no hater. I ain't no YG, you know what I'm saying? I ain't against you in no type of way. But if you're going to be doing a podcast, my G, talking to the mic, get more active. I'm glad you got a co-host. Seems like he's a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, enthused on the microphone. But we're going to need you to step it up. Like, I don't know how old you are. I think you in your 30s. You've been coming out your face talking for a long time. You've been rapping for a long time at this point. Let's get the communication game going, man. Let's get that going. Let's get some media training shit. Like, come on, dog. We seen Flocka go from, man, voting good, to being very articulate. We need you to do the same. Oh, shit. Now, getting back into what Schoolboy Q actually had to say. Again, I like that he put this out there because he kind of made a lot of sense. He's like, it don't really make a lot of sense if we come to the label, want to put music out, and Top Dog is telling us we can't release no album for 5 years, because that actually stifles the paycheck that he gonna make off of each of us. He would probably really want everybody to drop once or twice a year if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? In order to capitalize on the monetary value of everybody, because the goal when you sign a record deal and go into the music business is to exploit the music for financial gain. So you don't get to like capitalize on everything if all your artists is taking 5 years to drop and you telling them to do that. And he said, shit, I'm a 37-year-old man. I got kids, family, all type of shit. Ain't no fucking way a nigga gonna tell me I gotta wait 5 years to put my shit out. Shit gonna get a little bit ugly. So I appreciate Schoolboy Q coming out and putting that rumor to rest, although we have seen that he's taken 5 years on his own intentionally, or maybe non-intentionally, just going through life issues. He's not somebody who like just puts out albums for the fuck of it. Same thing with SZA. You know, she goes through life. She goes through writing periods. And although she's been eager to put certain projects out or certain records out at specific times, and she's complained a little bit about it, I feel like shortly after those complaints come to a head, music ends up coming out. And I think her issue with Punch and Top Dog is once the music is in, they like to try to hit during the right season. I don't think that they're trying to make her wait to drop like years upon years, but they want to make sure the album is right. They want to make sure they got them singles. They want to make sure that they have impactful music and not just for the moment music. And I think that is a trademark that TDE, puts a stamp on when they sign an artist, or at least when they put a record out publicly, because they've signed newer artists in the last couple years that haven't connected as much as that first group has. When you think of what Kendrick Lamar has done, when you think of what even Schoolboy Q has done on a smaller level, but he's still got a big cult following. When you look at what SZA has done, Even Isaiah Rashad has a big following despite not having a huge fan base. He's got a very strong fan base that keeps him employed, keeps him moving. Same thing for J Rock. He was the first artist signed to TDE back in what, mid 2000s. His first album came out, or first records came out in like 2006, 2007. He didn't get a official big major label push and album and all of that shit until what, 2014, 15, right? Right around Black Panther and all that shit coming out. I forgot what year that was exactly. That might have been even later than cuz King's Dead and all that shit. That's really what put J-Rock on that plateau. So that might have been like 2017, 2018. So it's just a lot, man. And J-Rock went through a motorcycle accident. He had a different family shit. So I think everybody on that label has their own reasons. I don't know what Ab-Soul's situation was. I know he had moved to New York for a while. I think he was dating what was homegirl that he was dating? Fuck. I think she used to date Joe Budden at one time. Shit. Yaris Sanchez. Actually, I don't want to put that on Joe Budden name. Yaris, that he messed with her, but I think people were trying to allege that they had a thing going on years ago, but I think he kind of debunked that. So, but she's an associate of his down the line. Let's just say that much. So he was moving around, doing whatever they was doing. I think their relationship started around 2013, which is around the time Ab-Soul kind of took a little hiatus. He had put a project out and then took some time off. And we know Ab-Soul, you know, his eyesight isn't all that great and all that type of stuff. He took time out. I think he had to get back, do some centering with himself, with people in his neighborhood and lost homies and all of that type of stuff. So each of them have reasoning as to why it took time for them to put music out, right? And they don't fall off. When each of them comes back and they put a project out, you hear the improvement, you hear the growth, you hear the elevation in their musical output. So clearly what they put into the fabric of those artists, it's worked. Now what's gonna happen with Reason? I know Reason wants to get off Top Dog in the midst of all the battle with Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all this stuff, and he was out here kind of commentating on it. People were like, yo, you can't be out here co-signing Drake record and you signed to TDE. They're going to drop your ass. He was basically saying, I've been trying to get dropped for the last 3 years, but they won't let me go. So we don't know what's going to happen with him. Doechii is extremely talented. I think she's got all of the intangibles to be a superstar. It just depends on the type of music that she wants to release. You know, if she wants to lean into what's going to make her a bigger artist or if she wants to be more of a niche artist like she has been. That's her choice. Ray Vaughn, he's a talented lyricist. Don't really see him cracking through the ceiling like that, but he's another underground type artist. Dope lyricist. Salute to him. All right? And last but not least, we're not having a long show on this one. We're going to get into Chris Brown talking about his business ventures since coming out as an artist. And I think this is always interesting because I like to see people that, you know, get involved outside of just music or just start making good, smart financial decisions when they have the opportunity to. A lot of artists that get into this game, they don't make those decisions. They find themselves in the never-ending cycle of chasing advances more than anything. And chasing advances kind of leaves you in a bad spot because you may get an advance in 2020, but then you may not get to re-up your advance again until 2023, 2024. So that money has to last you for years, and then you got to figure out how to get on tour. You got to figure out how to do this, how to do that. But in those time periods, some albums don't get cleared to put out. You bring singles to the label. They don't let you put that shit out, right? So it could be a while. We've seen numerous artists over the last couple of years talk about they never made any money off of their royalties. They've never seen a royalty check come from their labels. They do get publishing and stuff like that, but from actual sales and streams, they don't eat off of it. So you got to find other ventures to get involved in. So we're going to listen to Chris talk about what he's been doing and how he figured out his career at a young age, because he came out young, he learned young also. All right? Now, if you don't like Chris, that's cool. I'm not advocating for him, but I am allowing him to speak about how he's navigated in the business, because this is something that a lot of people can learn from, whether or not you like him. All right? Because I'm not a big Chris nigga either, to be all the way honest.
Of all of this.
I did that first, and I would be like, I was 17 when I started trying to invest in certain things, just because I knew, like, you know, unless you torn, unless you like, you don't know how long you're gonna be successful, and it's not like every artist can make it look like they getting money. If you're not a touring act, if you're not doing stuff, you need an exit strategy. So I would have, like, you know, the business people around me at the time, can't say they were good at the time, but you know, my investments were like into Burger Kings and stuff like that, just so I could have a portfolio of and you know, constant income. You know, so that was my first step. But when I really started getting into like the music side, like the executive side, it was like I was 25, and what happened was Loyal and all these other records had already been blowing up. So, and I was almost out of my contract. So I was able to negotiate. I was like, well, cool. Well, now that I have leverage as an actual not an artist, I don't want to be an artist. I want to be 50-50 profit share with you guys. I want to have the same deal Birdman got with Universal. You know, I asked around trying to figure it out, so I don't have to be getting, you know, cents on the dollar.
Right.
Like, you know,
and just living off of advances.
You get what I'm saying? So from there, that was my first step. Boom. And then I think they were like, oh, and then they kind of like, you know what, fuck it, we'll do it. And I'm like, shit. Damn, I'm like the youngest nigga with this deal right here. I don't think nobody know, you know. So that was my first step. Then after that was me trying to own my masters. So I think when I was like 27 or 28, like by that time, it was renegotiation time, and I was like, hey, cool, I still want this, but let me get my masters from here, from I think from my Fame album and up. I said, let me get the masters from there, and then I'm able to come back and negotiate, you know, in 6 years for the first album and all of my shit.
Gotcha.
So being able to have that type of structured deal, like shout out to Mark Pitts again, you know what I'm saying? Peter Edge, everybody that was, you know, everybody that really kind of like looked and said, you know, we'll give him this deal. And Barry Weiss, like, he put the shit down. Like he the one that kind of allowed me to be like, you know what? Here, fuck it, kid, take it.
Yeah.
You got it.
I mean, you have made him so much.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting, right? Now, who was Chris signed to when he first came out? Was it Columbia or some shit like that? I don't remember vividly, because when he came out, I was very young myself, so I didn't know, you know, where everyone was signed to. Especially R&B acts. I didn't know where all them niggas was signed. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Might have been Columbia, but I don't know that to be true, right? First album, all right, looked like he was on Jive, which I believe was bought out by Sony or was under the Sony umbrella, right? So at some point, he goes to RCA. And RCA gave him the leverage, and this is after all of the controversy, you know, the DV stuff, the BET performance, and all of that. So at this point, he was kind of written off as an artist, but of course, he was still a big name. He was still able to generate money, but he was going through a very tumultuous time in his life and his career, and a lot of people had written him off. A lot of people didn't want to deal with him. A lot of people didn't want to be associated with him, right? And I would say rightfully so. But with that, you also got to think, gets a new deal, gets this Fame album, Look at Me Now, These Hoes Ain't Loyal, all of this type of shit. So he decides, hey man, let's renegotiate this deal, right? I wanna have an opportunity to actually make some real money in this industry. Y'all making all this money off of me. And I think that one of the primary reasons why he was able to be a 50-50 partner is because he had mixtape success despite all of this stuff going down. And he still had cultural cachet within the industry, right? There were still people within the boys club that were willing to collaborate with him. He was still finding ways to chart despite having so many people that didn't fuck with him. So he could have, at that point, went independent and probably would have had a successful career. But their thinking is, well, shit, man, as long as we keep him in the nest, if something pops, if he keeps doing this shit, he's still going to be able to make us a lot of money on the low. Right? So that makes a lot of sense as to why they would do that, because it's like if we just keep him, you know what I'm saying? It's like a wild card. Like if he can rebound his career, we make him 50-50 partner, we still gonna eat a lot. But if he doesn't do shit, then we don't really gotta put as much money up for him because he's a 50-50 partner, which means he's gonna have to invest his own money into certain shit, invest certain budget, right? But that's the chance that you take when you become a partner with the label, is you put some skin in the game, they put some skin in the game, y'all come together and it works. Right? Then, so clearly he must have done like a 2-album situation, because he said he renegotiated a couple albums later to start obtaining rights to his masters, which a lot of artists don't get. A lot of artists have to pay millions of dollars in order to retain. But things were going well. His tours were still performing. His music is performing. And this is with a lot of backlash, a lot of people that hadn't forgiven him. He was still putting up numbers. I can only imagine what y'all saying in the comments about his ass. I understand. But this is the way things played out. So take this however you will, but he made smart decisions, even given the situation where people were trying to get him out of the music industry, trying to, make it to where he could not return. He was too big for everybody to completely exile him, and they took a chance, and RCA has ate very well off of taking that chance with him, and he has also. So again, despite what you may think of Chris, how you may feel about him as a person or his actions, again, artists, this is a teachable moment for you, especially those of y'all that are trying to get into the game. Some of y'all watch my channel and, listen out for things. The word that commonly comes up in reference to the music industry is leverage. If you're coming into the industry with no leverage, you ain't got no records that's blowing up, you don't have like a really high ceiling when it comes to your talent, you're going to have to find a way to find leverage, right? And it could be a numerous amount of things, right? You could come in with a producer that's making you the craziest, illest beats, and people all of a sudden want to work with your producer. You and your producer going to have a private conversation like, yo, this is how we build leverage. If niggas is going to be getting your beats, you know what I mean, when you came in with me, then throw me on the remix, throw me on a feature, something. You're going to have to find a way to swing your Johnson around, man. I ain't going to lie. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that literally. We're talking about figuratively. Because you have to create a situation that's going to be conducive for you to get the best deal, to get the best outlook, something to build for your future. You take that fucking standard ass contract, you're going to have a standard ass situation, you're going to have a standard ass living situation as well. So, again, not everybody's going to have the opportunity to get their masters, negotiate a 50-50 partnership, all of those things. Sometimes you may have to take extra time when labels approach you 1 year and they're giving you these weak ass offers, but you know that you can ride it out another 2 years, another 3 years. You got an independent ship rolling. You know that you can get yourself popping. Even if you're not on radio, even if you're not, you know what I'm saying? You got the avenue to tour with other artists that are notable. You have the avenue to tour on your own and do your own shit. Maybe you're not going to do super big tours and stuff like that, but you might be able to get 500 to 1,000 people, 500 each city. If you could do that, then that shows you got potential, right? Especially if you're a new artist. If you could do more than that and you start building towards it and you start linking with other bigger artists, doing features, going to different award shows, showing your face, even if you're not, nominated, maybe you write some shit for some other people, you have to build some sort of calling card as to why you are indispensable in the situation. Otherwise, you're going to get dispensed. All right? That's my show. Much love and respect. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. All my insiders, how y'all doing? I hope you've been enjoying the weekend. Again, I know I did not post anything yesterday. I had things I had to handle, but I'm back. We're going to get back on the streak of putting out that daily content, so don't go nowhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's him again. Get them to subscribe, like, and share these videos. Drop your comments down below. Make sure to come through on the premieres and the lives. Get active in the chat. We building up this community of insiders. I greatly appreciate everybody that's been giving me good feedback on those intro songs. Again, all of the intro songs I've been playing for the past week are from the Southside Nolan album. So I think we have a pretty strong ratio that y'all enjoyed the majority, if not all of the album at this point. So make sure you go ahead and pull it up on all streaming platforms, the one that you prefer. If you rather buy it, you could go on iTunes and purchase it, or you could go into my you can go down into my description below, hit the link to my website, realjnolan.com, blah, 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 whatever it is that pulls it up. It's only $10, you know what I'm saying? And if you get it directly from the website, it comes straight to me. No middleman, no finder's fee for Apple or Google or none of these other motherfuckers taking their cut out. It goes directly from me and my family, all right? So once again, much love and respect. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will see y'all again tomorrow, all right? I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some battery. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.